Welcome to That 80s Show. Dori, remember last week's show?
I do.
Wow, I feel it like it was just like literally happened 10 minutes ago.
Funny that.
Can I tell you something?
For the first time I can say I really do remember last week's show.
So in a strange quirk of organizational ability, Dori and I have recorded 2 shows back to back. And can I be honest with you? I can't really remember much from last week's show.
Me neither.
I remember O.J. Simpson somewhere. I remember Condom
I remember
Man.
we got our first thing wrong on the quiz.
That's it. So coming up later in the show, I don't think we're finishing up quite, but we're getting towards the end of a quiz called Guess That 80 Song by the first line.
The never-ending quiz.
The never-ending. It's right.
It's never-ending.
I've done something very bad. I've caught myself out by pressing record while I've still got a sweet in my mouth. A Sparkles.
Right.
Now, nobody believes me. Everyone says I'm talking shit when I bring this up. You and I have spoken about this before. Now, Sparkles in South Africa, they're little sucking sweets, right? They come in tropical flavors.
Yeah.
They're like oval shaped.
They are seriously choking hazards. The one time I've choked on a sweet, it was one of those.
Okay, now you'll hear it in my mouth right now.
Yeah. I hear it.
That is a Sparkle, right? Actually, take that out. I swear to God, and people say I'm nuts. I swear to God, they ran a promotion in the 80s, okay, that they hid Willy Wonka-style golden tokens inside it, and you had to suck the sweet and get your little token to redeem a prize. People say there is no way they would do that, and I'm saying I distinctly remember that. It was a TV ad and everything. The dumbest promotion.
I do not remember that.
People sound mad. It's been wiped from the internet. It's been I think they neuralized us. Like, Men in Black, that dildo thing.
Well, you're having a Mandela effect or whatever it's called.
Can you have a Mandela effect by yourself? I'm telling you that's what happened with these sweets. If anyone remembers.
Look, they wouldn't have worried about it being a choking hazard in the 80s.
No, of course not.
Because everybody was living dangerously. But I do not remember that.
No, they're going, guys, okay, listen, great promotion. We're going to put these little things, when the kids finish sucking it, and it was like metal. It was like a little ring metal thing.
No.
And they go...
It was a fever dream.
And someone went...
You had a fever dream.
Okay, will people choke? Maybe. Is it satanistic? No. Approved. Cannot be having satanistic sweets out there.
I mean, I'm still traumatized from the big advert of the clown doing a handstand on 2 big pens. Because clowns are scary.
That was a big thing. Clowns with that much strength.
Yeah.
Even scarier. Think about it. He would rip your little child head off.
Oh, exactly.
Think about that strength that clown had in his 4 fingers.
Yeah.
And he had 4 fingers. I mean, that's how fucking freaky that bastard clown was. Dori,
yes.
Obviously, we Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio, we know him. Maybe we know him too well. Seeing a bit too much of him.
Okay.
Yeah. So he is the Karate Kid, was a Karate Kid in the 80s. Now Karate Kid is Cobra Kai. Well, there's now never-ending Karate Kids. But Dori, can I tell you about the time when the Karate Kid was not the Karate Kid?
Okay.
For the first time. This is new to me. We used to play a game called 2 80s Truths and a Lie.
Yes.
And remember that game? We stopped playing it because some of the truths were so ridiculous that they just sounded like lies. It was just like 80s things were so silly.
And I had to trust you that you were even telling me the truth.
I had to trust my brain.
Yeah.
But the Karate Kid from 1980s, Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, wax on, Daniel San, wax off, was not the first Karate Kid.
Okay.
Oh, now Dori, eagle-eyed amongst us. Take yourself back. Take yourself. Got this traveling time.
Vaseline on the screen.
Yeah, before we had a DeLorean. Okay. Watching Karate Kid, credits roll. What song would have been on the end of the credits? What song was with the Karate Kid?
It was the I Am a Man Who Will Fight for Your Honor.
Yes.
Peter Cetera.
Yeah. Peter Cetera is playing. Right. And you're watching the credits. And you suddenly see, with thanks to DC Comics and the Karate Kid. What? What is happening?
Okay.
What are you talking about, DC Comics? The Karate Kid of the movie is not the first Karate Kid. In the 1960s, there was a comic book called The Karate Kid from DC.
Was it the same story?
Well, let me tell you said story, Dori.
Okay.
Okay. So in the 1960s, there was a comic book based on a character called Val Armour. Val Armour. He was a martial arts master from the 31st century who joined the Legion of Superheroes on the strength of his fighting skills alone. So he was an intergalactic traveler, and he visited all these like galactic societies and picked up all their fighting styles. So he was like the best fighter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, on Earth, he picked up karate. And he just traveled around. Val Armour, main alias Karate Kid. And he appeared in not only his own comic, but he started doing crossovers in other DC comics, right? Joining superhero team-up teams. So now that's the 60s. Children in the 60s reading the Karate Kid, Val Armour. Now we go time travel again to the 80s. Back in the 80s. And Columbia start developing the Karate Kid based on, movie, but completely separate. This is not the Karate Kid. The producers wanted to use the name. They said, listen, we got to call it the Karate Kid. We can't call it anything else. I've never seen an alternate name for the Karate Kid, like a working title. It's always the Karate Kid. Guys, it is Karate Kid, E.T., Extraterrestrial, The Terminator, Beverly Hills Cop. You got to tell people what they're seeing.
Yes.
Right? The Karate Kid. Oh, it's a kid.
Child martial arts person.
Yes. The kid does karate. Like, you understand. There's a trend here. And they want to use it. And then they reach out to DC who say, oh, but we got Karate Kid. I said, well, what are you doing with it? Oh, we got it. But we got it. So anyway, they said, okay, listen, we're not going to do anything with this guy. He's not exactly Batman. So we're going to kind of like move on from him. And they said, you can use the name, but on condition that you put our name in the credits with thanks to DC for the Karate Kid.
Right.
So there was a previous Karate Kid. Did you also know that the writer, that Karate Kid is actually semi Ricky Martin from last week.
Don't even go there.
Semi-autobiographical.
No?
Yeah. So the screenwriter, Robert Mark Carmen, he was beaten up by a gang of bullies at 17, so he looked for martial arts to help him stop bullies. He meets the first man that he feels like this man is a bigger bully than my bullies.
Right.
And leaves him. So he didn't find his Mr. Miyagi straight away, but then he did eventually get taught in the ways of karate.
But was he taught in the same ways?
There must have been things.
Did he make him clean shit and paint things and, you know what I mean? Like, was that based on reality?
There must have been things. I mean,
that's the coolest part of the movie.
I was so specific.
Yeah.
It not coming from the first instructor who was a dickhead and didn't speak English. But then he did eventually move on to a nicer guy who was his Mr. Miyagi, writes a story. The rest is Cobra Kai history.
Oh, God. Don't ruin it by saying Cobra Kai.
Oh, man, Cobra Kai started so well. It just like it was so much promise. And then it fell away. Dori, you're an environmental person. You care for the earth.
I do.
Care about
somewhat.
the earth. We're going to leave.
I recycle.
Yeah, good. You must recycle. That's perfect.
Been recycling for many years. Before it was cool.
Oh, well done. Before the different color bins. I've got a great little story here that I'm calling Morton Carkit. Okay? As in car.
You are calling it that. Nobody else called it that.
I'm calling it that.
Right.
Did you know Morton Harkett is to thank for the fact that within the next 18 months to 2 years, Norway will be the first country to have exclusively 100% electric vehicles.
Huh.
They're on 90% now.
Okay.
Norway, they're happy there.
Oh, yeah.
They look after the earth.
Well, they're either very happy or suicidal. There's no in between.
There's no. It is because they got 6 months summer, 6 months daylight, and 6 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So they are heading, and Norway in the 70s, 80s was one of the biggest producers of oil. So you go, how do you go in 40 years from being this massive polluter or producer of oil to now you're pretty much 100% electric cars, thanks to Morton Harkett.
Okay, do tell.
And a stunt. So in 1983, I'm going to get into some Norwegian names here.
Oh, don't hurt yourself.
Oh. I'm going to try my best. This one's easy. Gro Harlem Brundtland. Gro Harlem Brundtland. I think I did that one well. Who then later years becomes a Norwegian prime minister, but at this point gets appointed to chair what then became known as the Brundtland Commission, but by the UN to set up and promote environmentally friendly growth. Okay. So Brundtland goes, I got a great idea. Phenomenal idea. The biggest band in the world right now is Aha.
Right.
All right? Massive.
Yeah. And, I mean, the pride of Norway, right?
Huge.
What was Norway known for before Aha? Stinky fish.
Wow. Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
What was that? I mean,
nothing. I don't want to attach the stinky label to Norway because all fish is stinky. This is a fish problem, not a Norway problem.
Yeah.
Do fish stink underwater? Are we being unfair on them?
Depends on the quality of the water, I guess.
Yeah. Because people say, oh, things like those fish, it's fish, it smells fishy. It's like, well, no.
Cape Town smells fishy.
It smells it smells earthy, actually.
Okay.
Because I'm sure the fish don't stink underwater. Has anyone corroborated
We're blaming the water, but we should be blaming the air, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, because they don't. There's so many of them down there. They wouldn't stay there if they stank. You know what I mean?
Sorry to derail this conversation. Let's go back to Morten Harkett.
It's all, sustainable fishing. That's what I'm about.
Okay.
So Brundtland comes up with a stunt. So they get a little Fiat Panda. Okay, a car. A little car. They strip out the back seats and turn it into an electric vehicle. The back seat's full of batteries, right?
Okay.
And it takes a few days to charge, so they can drive 20 miles. What's 20 miles? Like 40 kilometers?
Something
like that.
Yeah.
Right? And he goes, okay, cool. This is what we're going to do. We're going to show people, like, we got this little car. We're going to drive it around. Who's going to care about a car? Who's going to care about one little car? What if the people in the car, not only Morten, but also Mags. One of the other guys from
Mags.
AHA.
Fine.
Mags. One of the other guys from AHA said, I'm going to put these two in the car,
right?
And we're going to drive around to promote electric vehicles.
Okay,
because they'd worked on other eco projects before. Morten is very passionate about eco projects. You've seen in his latter days. He's very, like, earth. Obviously, whatever he's doing, he's traded off because he doesn't age.
Yeah.
So it's working for him. So they drove around, and what kept happening is they drive around. They wouldn't pay tolls because they said, well, we don't have emissions. We don't qualify for tolls. We don't drive. The car would then get impounded. It would go up for auction. People would then buy the car back for them and give it back and say, continue driving.
Really?
Right?
That all happened?
This is all happening in Norway.
Okay.
Who knows? Who knew what was happening in Norway? This.
You do know that Norway is one of the most, some people would say peaceful, other people would say boring countries. I have a friend who was there once. Yeah. She said the front page article in the newspaper was how somebody's Christmas tree was stolen out of their car.
But that is like somebody pissing on a protea.
Yeah.
That's your national flower, I assume, in Norway.
It's just like not much happens. So 2 members of AHA driving around in a car must have been the biggest story.
Okay, so I'm with you. Exactly. It was huge. They're the biggest thing.
And then they get impounded?
They get impounded. People say, we're going to get the car. Give it back to you. Give it back to you. So, over the years, they carried on doing more projects. Now, you can see how they're obviously directly linked. You can see.
Okay.
You can see it's directly linked.
Right.
Morten Harkett got in electric cars. 40 years later, Norway are pretty much 100% electric cars, right?
There's definitely a link.
Well, let me tell you my favorite part about this whole story. It's neither here nor there, right? We've had some fun with it.
You enjoyed the Morten Harkett part of it.
I did. The writer of this, I get this story from The Guardian.
Right.
I love The Guardian. Listen to the writer. This is Pulitzer Prize stuff. Ends it off. So now, the whole time, he's saying the Brundtland, because now they're interviewing Brundtland. Brundtland's the person.
Yeah.
Telling the story. And says, listen, I'm still in touch with Morten, but, he's so busy, he's got other projects. And the writer says, let's phone Morten now. Your friends, phone him. Like, if we talking to someone who's friends with Morten, we're like, fucking phone him, guy. Like, phone him.
Yeah.
Phones, he doesn't answer.
Oh.
So, I pick up from the story. He might have time for a quick chat to reminisce about starting this whole EV evolution, but he doesn't want to pick up. He doesn't want to deal with it. Well, the next thing we can do is we'll go on a bit of a road trip and we'll play some of their songs, AHA songs on Spotify. No, not Take On Me or Hunting High and Low. Not even The Living Daylights. No, we'll play Stay On These Roads. It's a personal favorite. He remembers Harkett playing it to him before it was released. Plus, it's appropriate for the slippery driving conditions today. Maybe that's what it's about. Stay on these roads. We shall meet. I know. I like that.
Of course you do.
Of course it is. There's no way that song was even linked to anything. The writer decided I'm going to do it. So, thank you, Morton Harkett. Maybe, and long may your,
environmental endeavors is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for him. Fantastic.
We have nothing bad to say about Morton Harkett ever.
No.
Ever.
Even the time when we saw him wearing little slippers, his little Ugg boots. Remember when he went to visit the lady from the he did this amazing thing. Years later, he meets the lady from the Take On Me music video.
Yeah.
In the original diner.
Yeah.
He surprises her. Looks 40 years older. He looks 40 years younger. Huh?
Damn it.
Anyway, how does that even work? So we're skipping around because now we're back on Karate Kid themes and 80s bullies. 80s movie bullies were the worst.
Yeah.
They were just so violent. Like, listen, I'm sure bullies now, kids, they're terrible. They got social media, they're doing stuff that's not great.
Yeah.
But 80s movies bullies were like, why were they so psychopathic?
Because all the kids were kind of neglected in the 80s. They didn't have proper parenting. There was no internet. So you were probably at home making your own weapons out of boredom.
Mm.
Also, who would your role models have been?
Because think about it, we spoke about in last week's show, if you may remember.
Yeah, I might remember.
Yeah, we spoke about Vietnam.
We did.
So a lot of these bullies would have been raised by Vietnam War vets.
Who were not well.
They weren't well. They were shell-shocked.
Also, think of your role models, your heroes. A-Team?
But this is in 80s. So if you're a bully in the 80s, you're a teenager. So you're more inspired by stuff that happened in the 70s.
Okay. Possibly even worse.
I get what you're saying. So like Black Sabbath, heavy metal bands.
Probably also, I can't even think what was big in the 70s. And I was around, but I was little.
LSD. It's big. It's a pandemic.
But the 70s was still almost like the hangover of the 60s with peace and love. And
I think it was the total opposite. People are like, we had enough of peace. Fuck peace. Wars, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Even if that wasn't the truth. The bullies in 80s movies were the worst.
They really were bad.
They were the worst. I'm going to remind you of some.
Okay.
Okay, here. Now, there's some that you will know of the movie. I'm just going to go after the best known ones.
Yeah.
That you can immediately identify. Because there are some, that were terrible. Like, there was a guy called Roy Stalin in Better Off Dead. Now, I don't remember Better Off Dead.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a...
How do you not remember Better Off Dead?
I never watched because John Cusack.
I know, but I showed you clips of it.
No, I know, but those clips included John Cusack.
No.
So I don't like him.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
The bully would have been the kid on the bike.
Oh, but that was younger than him.
Yeah.
No, this is like a typical looking... Another thing about bullies.
Yeah.
By and large, they all had blonde hair and blue eyes.
They looked like Jake Busey.
They were all like the good-looking guy.
Or like a fat Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland's one of them.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he's the bully from Stand By Me.
Of course.
Yeah,
and
he's labeled
technically also the Lost Boys. Also a bully.
Also technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because a vampire.
But they were all blonde. So was it that there was like a reaction against the whole jock thing?
It could have been that.
Yeah.
It could have been because like they were going like and upper class.
Yeah.
And I think it could be like a whole like rebellion against that.
Like a blonde, blue-eyed guy couldn't be the underdog ever.
Exactly, yeah. And he had to like shit down on people. None more so. And I know you don't like this movie. One of my favorites, Stan Gable in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
He was uber bully. He was the head of, what was the frat they were at? I'm hoping they say it in this article. Pi Alpha Alpha Beta. Alpha Beta, that was the frat he was at. You know, the nerds were Lambda, I think. Terrible. He was a terrible bully.
Okay.
Another bully they got you. Ooh. Okay, he goes against the stereotype. He was unnecessary to bully. Unnecessary. But I loved him because he loved Converse. Shonuff from The Last Dragon.
I mean, could we call him a bully?
Oh, he was the worst. He was a martial arts. He got the glow as well. He got the red glow. Shonuff.
Yeah.
Literally he had a song that
villain.
said, who's
Not
the
a
bad?
bully. He's a villain.
But he only ever bullied Bruce Leroy. A villain, like, obviously bullies everybody. He only bullied Bruce Leroy. Why? Because his whole thing was, oh, you dress in Oriental clothing. But so do you. And you got that silly little top knot. I love Shonuff.
But this is the thing, right? You're not supposed to love the bully. You're not supposed to.
I loved Shonuff.
Exactly. But did you love the other bullies?
No. Well,
I think by that definition alone, he's not a bully.
Okay. Some Kind of Wonderful, that's your movie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, but he...
Hardy Jens in Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So he was horrible.
Okay.
Horrible.
Okay. Another one from Pretty in Pink, Steph. Steph. I don't remember. So Steph...
Steph would have been James Spader's character.
That's it.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. Was he a bully? I don't remember him.
Yeah, he was, in a way. I mean, he was just a obnoxious rich guy.
Yeah.
But
that's They describe him as a burnt out Wall Street wannabe, even though he's in high school.
He was like and like someone who just does cocaine all the time.
No.
That was exactly his character. It actually totally translated into his character in Less Than Zero, where he was also a bully in Less Than Zero.
Bully.
Yeah.
Big bully, Gunnery Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, I mean, that is the
He was a
worst.
huge bully. Huge bully.
Worst.
Yeah. Some of the best lines.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was a bully. But
best.
the tour de force of the first part of Full Metal Jacket with
Which is
him,
the only good part of the movie.
Right.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying it as
true.
well. Like, if I have to say, I've watched the first part like dozens of times.
And the second part, once.
Yeah. It's just like, but where is he?
I think I watched it twice because I thought, let me give it another chance. Nope.
Yeah. You, a while back, recommended the movie The Heathers.
Yes.
And Heather Chandler. She's in here as a bully.
Oh, well, yeah.
She was a bully. You remember her?
Yeah.
She's a very nice power suit in this picture.
Yeah.
We got... I wouldn't think of him as a bully. I just would have think of him as a jock. Emilio Estevez's character in Breakfast Club, Andrew Clark. Was he a bully?
He might have bullied Anthony Michael Hall's character. If not during that movie, there had been a history of it, perhaps.
So...
Because he would have bullied the nerd.
Because there's a case to say Judd Nelson was probably the bully. His character was probably the bully.
Yeah.
You know? I wouldn't think of maybe because you think of who he became, and he was actually the super nice guy in the end. Like I wouldn't imagine him being a bully. No, he
definitely doesn't come across as like really mean spirited.
No, he's just like I just don't. You're beneath me. I won't even degrade myself to actually bullying you.
Definitely Judd Nelson more so.
More so the bully.
For sure.
Yeah. So we've also got Biff Tannen.
Ha!
Big bully.
The ultimate bully.
A multi-generational bully.
Yeah.
Every iteration of a Tannen was a bully. Big bully. Huge bully. And then, of course, the Cobra Kai Karate Kid tie-in. Johnny Lawrence. He was a big fucking bully.
Yeah.
He had karate.
And then they turned that around with Cobra Kai.
So he flipped it good. Again, it's a story. I'm here having a nice life. This little punk-ass kid shows up, stealing DC comic book characters' names, stealing my girlfriend.
And then you know who became the bully in Cobra Kai was that girl. I can't remember her name, but you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, in Cobra Kai, everybody goes through a period where they
just beating
good
everyone
and bad.
up.
Yeah, it's so unrealistic.
Such a stupid show.
So dumb.
Terrible.
Started well.
So well.
You know when I'll tell you when it flipped. When Ralph Macchio got the permanent hairpiece. When he was wearing the wig. When he was wearing the very obvious wig, was better, then I think this is, guys, we've got to make a choice on budget here. Permanent hairpiece for Ralph Macchio or writers. Well, we've got so many children here. Let them write it. Good idea. Ralph, approved. Huh? Behind the scenes stuff you get here on that 80s show. So what we like doing, and Dori has teased this since literally last week. Literally in your world last week, in my world since 3 o'clock, that she has a movie for us that is going to make us go, what you talking about, Willis? Probably not. But go with me as Dori, as I pad while Dori finds her notes.
I'm ready.
Dori is ready. Let's go.
I'm wondering, Paulo, if you know about this movie.
Oh, boy.
I did not know about its existence. My husband, who's always on the lookout for cool 80s things for me, comes to me and says, I've got a movie for you that you can talk about on your show. I'm, of course, thinking it's a movie from the 80s.
Right.
Oh, no.
Oh.
It is a movie from February this year. Set in the 80s.
Yes.
And full of 80s goodies.
Ooh, so many little treats.
So many treats. I'm not even going to tease it because I don't know if you've heard of it. I need you to be on the same page with me. It's a movie called Lisa Frankenstein.
Yes. I've seen it.
You've seen it?
And I've seen it. I've seen of it.
Okay. It is available to stream on Peacock, which gives you the answers to how you're going to see it, because we do not get Peacock here. So it's written by Diablo Cody.
Okay, I know why I've seen it. It is on something locally.
Is it on something locally?
It is on something locally because the one of the actors, the main actor, the male, I saw him. Okay.
The main actor, let's get into it.
Yes.
The main actor is Cole Sprouse. Now, the name might mean nothing to you. Cole Sprouse is Jughead from Riverdale.
Correct.
Riverdale is one of the worst shows ever made that you cannot stop watching.
He's also one of the Bens from Friend.
He's one of the Bens from Friend. He played Ross's son Ben.
Him and his
twin brother were Ross's son Ben in Friend.
Zack and Cody.
Okay.
That's who him and his brother are. There's a Disney show, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Cole and Dylan Sprouse.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a twin brother.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Never seen the twin. Don't know what he does.
Do they? Are they even twins?
They probably don't look alike anymore.
Are we being parent trapped?
Maybe
they're not. They just.
So even though it has Cole Sprouse, because don't let that put you off. Cole Sprouse is very easy on the eyes.
No, I don't hate him.
Yeah, no, we don't hate him. We hate Riverdale.
I hate Riverdale.
Riverdale was awful.
Do you know? I mean, like my favorite Archie character is Jughead, right?
Exactly.
And Cole Sprouse plays Jughead.
Yeah.
I don't hate him for it. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Listen, dude, not your fault. You didn't write that shit.
I mean, Jughead in the comics was kind of funny looking.
I fucking love Jughead.
Then they cast Cole Sprouse, who's hot.
Hot as hell. And then they make him hotter, isn't it? At one point when he's running the cartel or some shit like that. I see that shit. And they make him, Cole Sprouse, a good-looking guy.
No, he's a very good-looking guy.
Good-looking guy.
Very good-looking guy.
Not the little kid. Oh, he's also in Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. They were also Cole and Dylan Sprouse.
Don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
It takes a while for Cole Sprouse to get a bit good-looking in Lisa Frankenstein because he is literally a zombie.
His character is called The Creature.
His character is indeed called The Creature. But he blossoms over the course of the movie. I don't want to give any spoilers. I really don't. I'm not going to give too much away.
Lisa Frankenstein, how closely related is she to Frankenstein, the monster? Frankenstein's monster.
Well, Frankenstein, if you remember, is not the monster. Frankenstein is the scientist.
The scientist. That's what people don't know.
Creates the monster.
Because Frankenstein he's Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
What we think is Frankenstein doesn't have a name.
No, it's the creature.
The creature, yeah.
Literally. I don't want to give too much away, but there's definitely similarities to the original Frankenstein story. But this is so fun. Such a fun movie. Watched it with a teenager who said best movie of the year so far.
Wow. April.
Best movie of the year so far. Loved it so much. It is silly, funny, but the 80s-ness is so well done. So well done. First of all, let me tell you about...
Is the poster neonish?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's what caught my eye. Yeah. That's it. Caught my eye. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Very eye-catching.
Yeah, Dori just showed me the poster.
80s looking
Neons.
poster.
Yeah.
Turquoise neon.
Yeah, turquoise.
Can't go wrong with turquoise neon.
Hot pink.
And some hot pink.
Yeah.
Hot pink. So the main character is Catherine Newton. She hasn't been in a hell of a lot of things. I did watch another lovely movie with her in it called The Map of Tiny Things or something like that. But anyway, the point is you might not recognize her. She's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I loved her character even though she constantly dressed like 80s Madonna.
Okay.
She was channeling 80s Madonna as in the black lace gloves, that kind of Madonna look.
Right.
Her hair was... I related very much to her character in many ways.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away,
All right.
but like, I just was like, there was a scene where she was doing something and I was like, I literally did that.
Did she drink your spree on the way home from school?
She did not. She did not. But there was a scene where I was like, I did that as a kid. Don't want to, no spoilers allowed. So yeah, so it's B-grade-y, horrorish, but so well done. 80s goodies to look out for. The soundtrack.
Yes.
The soundtrack. Oh. The main song, which is like a pivotal moment in the movie, is I Can't Fight This Feeling by REO Speedwagon. Now, released in 1984. The movie, by the way, is set in 1989.
Okay.
But so I was kind of surprised to hear that.
You got the whole 80s to play with.
The whole 80s to play with. But I was kind of
good
surprised to hear that it was 89 because it felt earlier for me.
Okay.
That's how 80s it was.
Wow.
Okay. There's the cheerleader.
Uh-huh.
Does
she become a zombie?
No.
Okay.
No.
She become a werewolf?
There's only... No, it's not like that. And it's not like that kind of movie. It's a quirky love story. It's relatable for, people who are kind of the outcasts at school, which is probably why I love the movie. I just want to read you. So the title is apparently an homage to a character in the John Hughes directed film Weird Science. Now, I don't remember. I'm going to have to rewatch Weird Science. Don't remember it enough.
Well, funny enough, we're talking bullies earlier. The bully from Weird Science popped up. I don't remember him.
Oh, I don't
Second mention could have had 2 mentions of Weird Science in one show.
Yeah.
Oingo Boingo did the
exactly
song.
There's a mention in the movie where they're going, we're going to go watch Look Who's Talking at the movies.
Great nod. Great.
Such a little
nod.
Great nod.
Yeah.
There is a mention of The Cure that is so beautiful.
Good stuff.
I'm not spoiling it. We could put the clip on our Facebook page, but watch the movie.
It's a movie about Frankenstein. You're going to have The Cure.
So there's gothiness. It's like black comedy, very dark, but funny. I was expecting it to be a lot stupider than it was.
Okay.
It was highly enjoyable. Lots of things. You see a Violent Femmes t-shirt. Oh. Lots of little nods, lots of Easter eggs all over this film. Easter eggs all over. Happy and it's very similar to Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
In many ways.
All right.
But it has a better ending. Edward Scissorhands not a great ending if you remember.
No, not at all. No.
Not a good ending. No. This one has a much better ending. It will not depress you. It'll satisfy. It's a lovely movie. I definitely will be watching it again before the year is up.
That is a big pun. So, Dori, you've actually solved a challenge for me because it's school holidays. My daughter's at home. She's 13.
Oh, yeah.
I go, well, we got to watch something. She can't watch Breaking Bad.
No. This is okay for a 13-year-old, I think. I don't know what the actual thing is, but, okay, there's a bit of sex. There's a bit of sex stuff in it. So maybe...
She watches, is it Friends level sex stuff? Do they talk about it? Do you see it? Is it... I'll scan it.
We'll take this discussion offline, and I don't want to give spoilers.
I'll scan it.
Yeah, there's a part that might be a bit much for a 13-year-old. I'll tell you about it.
Okay, well...
It involves a penis.
All right.
You don't see the penis.
No. Suggested.
There's also... It's very much suggested.
Suggested
There's
penis.
also a part that shows a sex toy.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay. Listen.
Watch it first.
And then make this Common Sense Media.
Yeah,
all is a good one to go.
Common Sense Media.
Dori recommended Lisa Frankenstein and Suggested Penis. The name of my band. Great call. Great shot.
I could actually read you one of the descriptions on IMDb of it because it was very funny and very accurate. And it'll give you an idea of what to expect. First of all, one of the reviews says, a coming-of-rage love story.
Love it. I love puns.
So cool. So cool. But this was my favorite one. It's a bit long, so I'm just going to read bits of it. 1989. Let's face it. Lonely high school senior Lisa Swallows hates her life. Oh, yes. Her name's Lisa Swallows.
Yeah.
Read into that what you want.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, not really, but yeah. I mean, it's Diablo Cody, so,
No.
you know.
No idea.
Now the moldy, half-decayed creature has a new lease on life. Who cares if he's missing a few vital body parts? Fortunately, Lisa is an excellent seamstress.
Oh, that's just lovely.
That gives you a little hint as to a few extra Frankensteinish elements.
Listen, Cole Sprouse, Violent Femmes, Look Who's Talking
Great
references.
Oh, I didn't even get into the rest of the soundtrack. I only told you about REO Speedwagon.
Give it.
Okay. There is Jesus and Mary Chain.
Sorry, before REO Speedwagon. Longest time, I thought, what the fuck does this band have to do with a delicious chocolate on the top, vanilla in the middle biscuit?
REO Speedwagon?
And I imagined the Speedwagon to have Oreo wheels. That's for the longest time.
Look, I don't know what REO stands for. To this day, I don't know.
If only we had this little device that could tell us. But you know what? I don't want to know. I want to imagine Oreo Speedwagon.
REO Speedwagon.
Oreo Speedwagon.
That does bring a weird mental image.
Yeah, longest time.
The movie has the most incredible version of I Can See Clearly Now. You know the song that was made famous by Hot House Flowers?
I don't like that song.
I know. That's what I don't like that song much either. But the version in the movie is amazing.
All right.
Really, really cool. On the Wings of Love, which is one of the cheesiest songs from the 80s. It's a terrible song.
I love it.
But the scene that it is in is so perfect.
Oh, that song's perfect. What are you talking about?
Oh, you love that song?
I love a cheesy 80s ballad.
Right, okay. Lips Like Sugar,
Mm-hmm.
Echo and the Bunnymen. When in Rome, their song The Promise, which has been remade multiple times.
Really?
It has. There's some great versions of it, but the When in Rome version is on this. Oh, I can't say enough good things. Just watch this movie, make a plan, find it,
and enjoy it.
You will enjoy.
Well, it sounds good. It sounds like it's got everything. How long is it? What's the runtime?
I feel like it was normal runtime. I don't know. It felt maybe just under 2 hours, maybe.
Oh, okay. I'll give it.
Are you complaining about that?
I do because, I'm kind of like set in the 80s, sub 40 minutes, I'm watching it. Don't even think about it. But if it's a bit longer, I will have to think about it. But anyway, that is Lisa Frankenstein. Dori recommended it. Dori,
1 hour, 41 minutes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I can do that.
Just over an hour and a half.
I can do that. Okay, that's fine.
And the opening credits are incredible. You're going to want to watch every second of them.
I'm sold. Dori, I got to say, that was worth waiting a week for. Worth sitting in the studio waiting for a week. So my movie is not as good.
Nothing will be as good as this for a while.
My movie, however, the director, famous, well-known director, one of your favorites, I think.
Oh, not John Hughes, surely not.
This was the only movie he got an Oscar nomination for.
Okay.
The main actor also got Oscar nominated Best Actor.
Okay.
Okay. It is a movie that shares a name with a DC comic book, like we said, Karate Kid earlier. Also shares a name with a David Bowie song, which is one of the reasons the movie didn't work and flopped at the box office.
Okay.
It confused the shit out of people. Dori, in 1984, Jeff Bridges played the role of an alien in the movie Starman.
I loved that.
Oh my God.
Loved it.
Well, let us tell the people about this movie.
Hang on, who directed
Starman? John Carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now John Carpenter was at the time known for horror movies.
Yes.
Okay, The Thing.
The Thing, indeed.
Christine.
Oh.
He directed Christine. That's what people knew him for.
Yeah.
And he took Starman because he was like, people only know me for horror movies. I think The Thing flopped. That was his last movie. And he's like, I got to do something completely different to The Thing. I think it was the movie he did before this flopped. So he's like, I got to just stay away from horror for a while. Let me do something different.
I need context of what Jeff Bridges we're phase we're in here. What had
After
Jeff
Tron.
Bridges? Okay, so he had just done Tron.
He had done Tron. So people knew who he was.
But he hadn't yet done some of the other things that he was hugely famous for.
Where are we finding Jeff Bridges?
Where in Jeff Bridges' acting life does Starman fit?
Pre-Big Lebowski, definitely.
Well, obviously, yes.
But in terms of his, he's got a long filmography. Long?
Yeah, no, he's prolific.
I've clicked down here. So where are we here? So he has done Kiss Me. So he's done Tron, 1982. He's done Kiss Me Goodbye. He does Starman. And then his next big movie is The Fabulous Baker Boys in 1989. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. I thought it would be around before that.
Because that's the movie made him huge.
Yeah. Before Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. So this is where he is. So he's done Tron, which is like, people love Tron.
But it was also niche. Tron was very niche.
But, it worked. Mm-hmm. So this is where Jeff Bridges is at this point. So the story goes is there is a 1977, they send a satellite space probe out into space with an invitation to alien races, come visit us on Earth.
Right.
We want to see you. What are you guys up to? Come, we're here. Jeff Bridges lands at his aliens planet.
Right.
And they go to Earth. He's like, cool, I'm going to go to Earth. So he goes to Earth.
Right.
And when he gets there, obviously he doesn't look like a human.
Yeah.
And he takes on the form of a woman, the main character, Karen Allen, or the female lead. She's just recently lost her husband.
Yes.
Okay. And he then takes his hair and clones himself to now take the shape and the appearance of the husband.
Yeah, not at all traumatic for the person who's lost it.
No. Dori, that is not even the weirdest. You know this movie. This movie gets
I do. I remember
this
quite
movie
a bit
gets
of it.
so weird, right?
I know.
So now he explains the thing. He says, I'm just trying to meet people. And she agrees to half agrees to help him.
But when she first sees him, she freaks out. Thinks it's her dead husband.
Her dead husband's back.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, this is bullshit. What's going on here?
He explains.
And he's got
Which
this
is so much more believable that I'm an alien who's taken the form
and he
of
can't
this.
speak properly because he's the only information he knows is what he's learned from this probe that was sent. His movements, he acts weird. He's jerky.
It's very My Stepmother is an Alien.
But they were all like that,
yeah.
right? Mork and Mindy-ish.
Yeah.
It's all there. So off they go, and she says, listen, this is too weird. I mean, you look like my dead husband. This is so traumatic. I can't take you. Or I'm going to get you to a certain point. And then he brings a deer back to life. Because what he has, and I think this is why my wife stays with him, he's got fantastic balls.
And I know what you mean by that.
His balls, I mean, they are what his balls can do.
You mean the bluish light?
He's got blue balls.
Star?
He's got blue balls for this woman. And I don't know what stage she's in. How long she's been, but his blue balls. So he's got these little balls of
orbs.
Light.
Let's call them orbs.
Orbs. He's got these little orbs.
Powerful, magical orbs.
Fantastic. I think there's 7 of them.
Could still be talking about testicles, yeah.
Until I say 7 of them. Then you're like, fuck, 80s microwaves were dangerous. No, so he's got these balls, these orbs, that allow him to do things, and that's where his power comes from.
I can see the title of this podcast, Jeff Bridges' Blue Balls.
Totally. Also, good name for a band. Great name for a sex tape. Anyway, we're moving on. So he uses these balls, these orbs, to bring a deer back to life. And she's like, he's got a heart of gold. I love him. I'm actually going to go through on the journey.
Right.
Okay, so it becomes a road trip movie.
Because where he's headed somewhere.
He's headed to meet
the spaceship.
Spaceship.
That is going to take him home.
That's it.
Yes, that's what I remembered about it. Okay.
But now, of course, NASA, everyone's now after him.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's now after him.
So it's a bit of E.T. as well.
That was one of the problems with the movie, why it sat in production hell for years. Do you know Michael Douglas was the producer of it?
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for 5 years, they just couldn't get this movie made. And one of the reasons were people like,
it's too similar to
this
E.T.
is E.T.
Yeah.
This is E.T. with a man.
Yeah.
Imagine E.T. turns into man. He's got shiny thing.
Yeah.
That could be confused for a phallus. It's all those things. So people stayed away from it. So off they go, and they go on their little adventure. Now, of course, we're in a little bit of we got to have a love story.
Of course.
Because she starts off, goes, oh my God, I can't, this is traumatic. You look like my husband. But then starts falling in love with this person. And I'm going to describe to you. This is from the Wikipedia page. While they're stowing away on a railroad boxer, an intimate relationship ensues. The Starman tells Jenny, after they're intimate, takes his balls out. And he tells Jenny, I gave you a baby tonight.
Yes.
She goes, impossible. I can't have babies.
Yes.
So he explains that
his balls are magical.
My balls are magical. And it's not even, you don't even have an alien baby. It's actually your husband's baby because I've used his DNA to impregnate you with him.
Right.
So basically a clone. I've done shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a son. He's going to possess all my knowledge, okay? And he's going to grow up to be a teacher. But he says, if you don't want it, I'll stop the pregnancy. And she's like, no, it's just, I accept this gift from you. It's important. Now, this is important. This child is important.
Okay.
This child is important.
Yes.
Off they go. They get to the rendezvous point. Alien goes back to space. Fantastic. The movie Starman.
That's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the movie. Alien. I mean, you got to get the alien to the end point.
Right.
He goes up, but he's learned lessons along the way.
Yes.
Learns how to be a human. She's learned. This is her grieving process.
Right.
Because she refusal, acceptance, anger.
But now she's lost him again.
But now she's gained a son.
Right.
Okay. Which is, alien puts his balls near you. I'm not a scientist, but this is what happens. So strange enough, John Carpenter gets nominated for an Oscar, Best Director.
Right.
Jeff Bridges nominated Best Actor. Movies like this don't get those sort of things, right?
Yeah, generally not.
Very sci-fi-ish.
Yeah.
Movie didn't do that well because, firstly, a lot of people went, well, it's E.T., but without the cuteness. I don't want to be watching hour and a half a guy handling his balls. Have we done that enough? The balls thing?
I think we should let the balls go now.
I think we're done with the balls thing now. Okay.
Drop them.
Oh, by the way, after all this, I can't. They left with one ball.
Right.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah, and
yes.
he gives her one ball.
He gives her a ball.
And then now she's got
a souvenir.
I don't know what she ever does with the ball. Okay, but anyway, she's got the remaining orb now.
Right.
Okay, so the movie flopped. One of the reasons is because people thought it had to do with the David Bowie song.
Why though?
Listen to the lyrics. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He told us not to blow it because he knows it's all worthwhile. So people were like, oh, this is a David Bowie movie. It's like interpretive. And they were like, oh, but this isn't David Bowie. But you could see why people are confused. 80s, again.
No internet.
Yeah, no internet. So that was one of the reasons it flopped. A lot of reasons it didn't really do well.
So it was really just bad timing. If it had come out before E.T. and before David Bowie had released the song, it might have been a huge hit.
Yeah.
Because I remember really loving it.
Well, people did love it.
Yeah.
I mean, so you listen.
It was like girly sci-fi.
Well, that's exactly it. It was a sci-fi love story.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. So, John Carpenter also breaking the mold, being completely. People were like, who knew he could be sweet?
Yeah.
Like, this is a very sweet movie.
There's like nobody being stabbed in the eye.
No, not at all. Like, no aliens, like
weird
nothing.
Things coming out of people's bodies.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned to you the sun.
Right.
Now.
That's Starman 2, right?
I don't remember the movie as much as I remember Starman, the TV series.
That I remember too.
Okay, now that came out also in the 80s.
Hang on, who was the main guy? Because he was, I can't
Christopher Daniel Barnes. He's not a name you'll know, but is a face you'll see.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So the story goes. That's why I said the sun's important.
Right.
Okay. It's a continuation.
Yeah.
But now a few years later, 15 years later. Okay. So the alien returns now to Earth. He looks different now. He's taken on a different form.
Right.
And he's now got to find his lady friend.
And
and his son. And now it's a father and son type of thing because I'm not sure if the mother is dead.
Don't remember that.
No, I can't really make out if the mother is dead. But anyway, it's now a whole story. Father and son is now a family drama. And then the son is now teaching his father what it's like to be a man. And he's teaching him what it's like to have blue balls. So, 2 in 1, the movie Starman and the TV series Starman. I'm so glad it's a movie you liked.
And I remember the movie and the series relatively well. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of actually, was Robert Hayes.
Oh, that's the child was Christopher Daniel Barnes.
Yes.
Sorry, Robert Hayes. Yes.
Yeah.
Robert Hayes. A guy you see in a lot of stuff, but you wouldn't know his name unless you're Dori. So that's good. Dori, I think we did well this week. Lisa Frankenstein, Starman.
And both sci-fi horror-ish.
Same genre.
Like love stories. Similar. Close enough.
Yeah.
Mine's better than yours, though. I mean, yours is great.
No, okay.
Yours has all the balls.
Yes, we'll just leave that there.
But mine is so exciting because it's new.
Yeah, okay.
New.
Well, I have to watch it now because, like, you've seen Starman. So, like, you have a reference
I could watch
point.
Starman again happily.
Good.
I reckon.
Would you be happy watching it?
I would. I think I would.
It's cute. It's sweet.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Probably not the series, but the original movie.
Yeah, the series I remember being not good.
It was all right.
Michael J. Fox, let's go to him.
Oh, no. What now?
No, he's throwing shade at today's actors.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Bold statement he makes a few days ago. You had to be talented. He said actors had it rougher in the 1980s. He said we were tougher back in the 80s. He's speaking to People magazine. He said, so he got awards. Michael J. Fox is always getting awards, humanitarian awards, good guy awards. And he says, during the awards, someone said, you're 80s famous. And he's like, he took it well. He said, oh, that's pretty cool. I am 80s famous.
But what is that? Were they meaning it as a compliment or an insult?
He took it as a compliment. He said 80s famous because he took it as like we were different in the 80s.
Okay.
He said we were tougher. We didn't have social media. We didn't have any crap of that crap. We were just famous, but we were left to our own resources.
Yeah.
So he said, you didn't have all these people around you. You just had to work hard. You get to a point and you kind of like, I'm ad-libbing here, but you didn't have anything else to lean on. Like if you weren't talented.
Yeah, and the only way your fans could access you was to wait for a poster in a magazine.
Yeah.
They couldn't watch you on social media
No.
and all that stuff.
You had none of that.
Yeah.
You had none, like there were no clothing lines.
Yeah.
There were no cognac brands or tequila brands. You were just, if you were not a good actor, you wouldn't get movies. Or if you're not prepared to make lots of movies, you just were nobody. So you had to be tough. You had to work harder.
Yeah.
And then you get to the top. And that's why so many people burnt out. Because like they get there and there's no support system. You weren't a one-man industry.
Yeah.
Like I think people are now. So that's Michael J. Fox throwing shade at today's actors. Also Rick Astley throwing shade at Never Gonna Give You Up.
Really?
Oh. He reveals what he really thinks of Never Gonna Give You Up. Oh.
Is this a I hate it because it's the thing that defines me kind
it's
of
a
moment?
shit song. Calls it a shit song.
Oh.
Yeah. Because he did Glastonbury last year.
Yeah.
He performed it a lot.
People just love it though.
Well, that's what he says. He says live music. The thing about it is it's actually able to take poor material and turn it into something phenomenal, into something special. So he says like festivals like Glastonbury. He said it's almost got this magical ability to elevate shit songs. So he said it's like Never Gonna Give You Up, that he actually finds himself when he performs it singing along to it, almost as if it's not his song.
I don't know if I've said this before on the show. I didn't love it when it came out in the 80s. I did not love that song. I love it retrospectively.
I think it's a song that had, yes. I think, I mean, I'd imagine in the 80s with Kylie Minogue.
Remember, I wasn't a big fan of all the Stock Aitken Waterman people.
Well, that's the thing. But all this stuff sounded so similar.
Retrospectively.
Yeah. I don't think it would have particularly stood out in that era.
No.
You know, I think
his voice was unique.
Yeah.
But the songs weren't great.
But I think the thing about his voice is people didn't expect him to be this you know, they thought he was
little freckly redhead kid.
But I'd imagine hearing it on the radio at the time, going in and amongst Kylie, and you're going, oh, you're just doing a version of what other people are doing. You know, I think it's a song that kind of like trying to be pseudo.
I think that's kind of brave of him to say that, and honest, actually.
It's same. You know, Kurt Cobain hated Smells Like Teen Spirit. It's often they hate their biggest song because it tends to be the song that they hate doing, and the record company makes them do it. They do it, becomes the hit because it's manufactured, and they go, fuck, I've got to play this song for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's a shit song. It's terrible. Because Rick Astley's an artist.
Yeah.
Like, he's does multiple songs, multiple instruments, top-class musician.
Have you listened to our friend, the celeb savant Barrett Edelstein's interview with Lloyd Cole? You know Lloyd Cole, like one of my absolute favorites.
I've never heard that about you. No, I did not know you like Lloyd Cole. No, I do not like that. There is stalker level of like for Lloyd Cole. I wasn't aware of that.
Barrett interviews Lloyd Cole, and Lloyd tells this really great story about how when they were first signed to the record company and they had to decide, obviously, what was going to be the first single they were going to release, because that's how it worked. And they agonized over a particular song for months and months and months. And then the record company was like, you need a B-side. So they whipped something together really quickly for a B-side. And the B-side turned out to be the big hit. Yeah. Obviously.
Of course.
And they actually decided to release that as the A-side because they were like, this is actually the better song.
And
it's so funny how that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's probably like, oh, why of all things?
Anyway, it all worked out well in the end. He's been making music for over 40 years.
But, you know, like, that's what I think we miss out of music these days.
Yeah.
Is like, there's none of, like, I mean, a B-side, if you don't know, it's like, you know, music was physical.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just send out a record. Well, what's the point? Like, we can put a song on one side, hold on a second, let's put a song on the other side.
And I loved so many of the B-sides of my singles that I've bought over the years.
A lot of people did. And you'd explore it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you think before when you bought a CD.
Yeah.
Or a tape or a record.
You didn't know what you were going to hear.
And that was your hard-earned money because you're going, I can only buy with my pocket money one a month.
Yeah.
Or I got a CNA voucher for my birthday.
Yeah.
A Musica voucher. And you listened to every second of every song. Even after, you know, when it goes quiet, after the last song, you're like, is there a hidden track?
Exactly.
Is there a hidden track?
Oh, hidden tracks.
Oh,
we can do a whole show on hidden tracks.
And the hidden track shit. But you go, but it's hidden.
But the fact is it's there.
It doesn't even, and you always knew it because on the CD player, you'd see it like hit track 17 and then it wouldn't skip to one. You're going, and then like other
or on vinyl, you'd see this little thing at the
sliver.
End. Yes.
Yeah. So hidden tracks. Yeah, and you listen to every single song. Now you're just like, one song, I don't care. You know? So like you're like into it, you know?
And Barrett asked this question of many of the people that he interviews about how the consumption of music has changed over the years. And the answer is always interesting.
Oh, it is, yeah. Listen to that. But listen, if it wasn't for things like that, there would not be your favorite 80s podcast.
Exactly.
Or this show. So we've been closing off for weeks now.
The never-ending quiz returns.
Did you think that when you found the quiz called Guess the 80s Song by the First Line?
I thought it was going to be 5 minutes of one show and then it would be done.
No, Dori.
I didn't realize there were hundreds of questions.
They call me the milkman because I can milk anything. If it has nipples.
Or balls.
So it's Guess the 80s Song by the First Line. And it is what it is. If you haven't listened to the show, if you're only catching up, we get an 80s song. This quiz from Past Factory gives you the first line. And you got to guess who sang it.
No, what the song.
The song is,
what the song is, but also who sang it, because they don't tell you who the artist is.
They give you a picture of the artist.
Yeah, which may or may not help you.
Because some people look very different.
Yeah.
So far, we have only got one wrong.
One wrong.
And it was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, it was fair.
I think so.
It was fair that we got that wrong.
I don't know if we count it. Again,
Satanic Panic.
We were sheltered. We would never have heard Ozzy Osbourne. Never. In the 80s. We'll never heard it.
I say because it's our show and we make the rules, we don't count it.
So you're saying I should have edited it out?
No, I'm saying that we don't count it. Move on.
No. Exactly.
And we don't mention it.
Exactly. So ignore everything that's just happened. Now, this is the quiz. I was reading about this guy this week. Yeah. The lyric is, now in the street there is violence.
Okay.
The song options are Past the Duchy, Tumbling Down, Bad Boys, Electric Avenue.
Eddie Grant, eh?
Eddie Grant.
It's definitely Electric Avenue.
It's definitely Electric Avenue.
What were you reading about this week?
Great interview with Eddie Grant.
Okay.
Just what his life is. Just like, you kind of forget how great he was, I think.
For me, he's always been kind of that two-hit wonder, though. Like, I don't know anything about his life or his personal story or anything.
Well, that's what it was so nice reading this article. Like, because I think you lazily go, well, he's kind of like he's the Sheen version of Bob Marley. You know?
That's not nice. Although Sheen, at least said Sheen and not Wish.
Apparently you say Shein.
Shein?
Which would make
That makes
sense.
sense.
Because it's Chinese.
I was saying Shine for the longest time.
Well, look, so people say like, and it was quite lazy, right?
Okay.
But I mean, Give Me Hope, Joanna.
Yeah.
He's hugely popular in South Africa.
Huge.
Apartheid actor.
Even though he said bad things about us in that song.
Well, bad things about the apartheid government.
Yes, not about us.
He's done Living on the Front Line, Romancing the Stone.
Okay, actually, four-hit wonder.
I loved Romancing the Stone.
Love Romancing the Stone.
Love the movie. I love the song more than the movie.
The song is great.
He's done a version of Walking on Sunshine. Baby Come Back. He's done the songs.
Four-hit wonder.
Listen, I'm telling you. I'll share that article.
Please,
that Eddie Show
let's
essay.
put it on our Facebook page.
I'll put that Eddie Show essay on Facebook.
Right.
So you can read it because it actually changes your opinion about Eddie Grant. Not change it.
Well, I don't have an opinion.
It gives you something of Eddie Grant.
Okay,
because we
cool.
have nothing of
I'm
him.
interested.
Yeah. I think he also did a song called South Africa.
Don't know.
I'm pretty sure he did a song called South Africa. So next up is it's the Police.
Mm-hmm.
There is Sting on the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. The opening lyric of the song is Another Suburban Family Morning. It's either Walking in Your Footsteps, Synchronicity 2,
Okay.
Roxanne, or Every Breath You Take.
Yo.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one because that lyric isn't jumping out at me.
Another suburb. And it's not Roxanne because that was about prostitutes or sex workers. And Every Breath You Take, I don't think it was.
No, Every Breath You Take starts with...
Every Breath You Take.
I feel like it does. I feel like Roxanne starts with Roxanne. I can't even remember Synchronicity 2.
I think it's
If we get
Roxanne.
this wrong, it's on us.
I think it's Roxanne.
Really? Wait, say it again.
Another Suburban Family Morning. I think it's Roxanne. Because Roxanne was about a guy who'd leave his family to go see Roxanne.
I can't think how the song starts now.
I think...
What was the fourth option? Is that like a no-no?
Walking in Your Footsteps, Synchronicity 2, Every Breath You Take, Roxanne.
If we go with the history of this quiz, it has 99.9% of the time been their biggest hit.
Or a toss-up between the two. I'm telling you it's Roxanne.
It's on us if we get it wrong.
Synchronicity 2.
Huh.
Synchronicity. I can't even...
We've lost our mojo with the
what
quiz
is
now.
What is it? It was
We've lost it.
Ozzy Osbourne cursed us. I don't even remember Synchronicity 2.
I can't
Maybe
think
if
what
I
it
hear
is.
it.
Yeah, if
I
I hear it, I'll
mean,
probably know it.
I probably know it's the proven. Does admit hasn't proven quite as well known as Roxanne or Every Breath You Take, but it was a top 20 hit.
I think it's because we're getting towards the end of the quiz. It's getting harder
It's
now.
harder. They do say the band's biggest hits tended to start with their titles, so this was the right choice to avoid making this top. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
We walked
Roxanne
into
starts with Roxanne.
Yeah. It is. Okay.
It's okay.
Roxanne, you don't have to turn off the red light. See.
Turn on.
Turn on the lights. Leave the lights, Roxanne.
Just leave them.
Whatever you do, just leave them alone.
Not touch the switch.
Next.
We have to get this right.
Oh.
We've now got 2 wrong in a row.
Oh boy.
Well, not in a row, but...
Yo, this is getting hard.
Oh, no.
I don't know this band.
Okay, wait. I'm coming to look.
I think I know who the band is. Oh, no, I do know who it is. Forget about it. It's New Order. The song options are Blue Monday, True Faith, Confusion, or Temptation. And the lyric is, how does it feel to treat me like you do?
Well.
Yeah, so that's Blue Monday. Easy.
Right. That's an easy.
A gimme. Of course, New Order, born out of Joy Division. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. This is an artist that I get him confused with another artist because the names are similar.
Okay, so you're not sure who it is?
Give
me the song names and I'll tell you who it is.
Walk On, Heart of Gold,
okay,
Southern Man, or Rockin' in the Free World.
Okay, so it's Neil Young.
Neil Young.
What is the lyric?
So I'm always, I get confused. Neil Young, Neil Simon, Paul Young.
Paul Simon.
You see what I'm saying?
All very different people, but okay.
It's an absolute mess for me.
Okay.
There's colors on the street.
I'm leaning towards Rockin' in the Free World.
That's the only one I know of his.
I feel like that's... Oh.
They did trick us with Police.
Yeah, they did. But I feel like it's Rockin' in the Free World. I'm semi-confident.
Correct.
Whew.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. 2 more to go. The lyric is It's Poetry in Motion.
Okay.
And the options are, we spoke about it earlier, Hyperactive, Budapest by Bump, One of Our Submarines, or She Blinded Me with Science.
Okay. You know this more than I do.
Oh, don't you know this one?
No, I mean, it's Thomas Dolby.
Yeah.
But I don't know Thomas Dolby as well as you do. So I'm assuming it's She Blinded Me with Science?
It's Poetry in Motion, She Blinded Me with Science.
Yeah.
Yes. And he says he considers it the most frivolous song he's ever written. And then finally, for this week, Dori, we're almost there.
What are we on? Are we on 90%?
We're 92% completed.
92. We might finish next week.
Too wrong. Oh, no. I think we still got... I'll drag it out. Because I'm doing 5 or 6 at a time.
Oh, okay. So we're on 9. But I don't even know how many there are in total, or else I could maybe do the math. Probably not.
I assume 100. I don't know. Anyway, Alphaville.
Okay.
Options are Sounds Like a Melody, The Jet Set, Big in Japan, or Forever Young.
I know 3 of those.
Let's Dance in Style, Let's Dance for a While.
Forever Young.
Oh, they gave it to us in the end there.
Yeah.
Correct. So that is Guess the 80s Song by the first line. We don't know Ozzy Osbourne, naturally. Let Ourselves Down and Stink.
Screwed up on the Police.
And the Police, I feel they tricked us. They admit they tricked us.
I'm not the biggest Police fan. I really like some songs. I actually probably prefer some of Sting's solo stuff, actually.
Well, like...
Except for, obviously, the big hits.
Every Breath I Take in Roxanne. Kind of like those are staples of the 80s.
I prefer SOS.
Is this... Oh, okay, yes.
Message in a Bottle.
The Message in a Bottle.
Not
Is
SOS.
there Synchronicity 1 if there's Synchronicity 2?
Logically, but I don't know.
Was it just like a weird, like, avant-garde thing they did?
We'll have to Google that.
I wanted to bring it up when you talk about Lisa Frankenstein, just to close the show off. You know... So there's another 80s set movie called Maxine with the X's triple X, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of coming out and it's set in the 80s and Maxine is an adult film star who wants to now transition to normal movies.
All right.
So this is kind of her story. It's kind of based on a semi-ish sort of thing. Set in the 80s and it stars Kevin Bacon. Okay? Like, and we spoke about Beetlejuice, the new Beetlejuice. And Winona Ryder, and then obviously Winona Ryder is in Stranger Things, and in Stranger Things they talk about Beetlejuice, which starred Winona Ryder. I love meta stuff like that, of when you get 80s people starring in things that they like existed in that universe.
In fact, the one thing I didn't mention about Lisa Frankenstein is the guy who plays the dad in Lisa Frankenstein also plays Mike's dad in Stranger Things. So we're watching it, and my kid's like, oh, he's so familiar. He was definitely a dad in an 80s thing. And he wasn't familiar to me. I had to look him up. No. And then he was a dad in an 80s thing. Stranger Things.
See, now, if Mike's dad in Stranger Things was played like by... Ted Danson.
Right.
And then they talk about watching Cheers.
Look, I haven't looked him up. He might have done stuff in the 80s.
You see?
But certainly not well.
But like when you're massive, like Winona Ryder in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And like Kevin Bacon in this Maxine.
Yeah.
Because like in Maxine, would they talk about Footloose? They would have to.
Exactly.
And then he was in Footloose.
And then you destroy the universe.
That's what I'm saying. Alternatively, is it another universe where O.J. Simpson's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator?
But I read an article about this where there have been movies that have made this mistake.
Yes.
That have done this.
Like even the actor going, no, but I was in this. Like, I don't give a shit. Like Physical. That's set in the 80s. Yeah. It'd be like Richard Simmons is in Physical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it wrong. the whole cinematic universe collapses in on each other. What do you call it?
There's certain actors, I can't think, not huge actors, not tiny actors, certain actors who have done multiple episodes of long series and played different characters. So they're like Susan in season 1, episode 2, and then they're Brenda in season 7, episode 9. Completely different characters. Yeah. Did the writers forget? Are there not enough actors in the world?
Did she not say something?
No, because she wants the work.
Oh, she don't want the work.
But that has happened.
Contracts.
And that's weird to me.
Why do these things bother us?
Because we're bored.
Can you name 5 political parties in the next election? No.
I can name the lyrics to many 80s songs.
That's what I'm saying, but not the lyrics to Starman.
Yeah.
And listen, Dori, this has been a fantastic episode.
And there's something I have to mention is that I am going to see OMD this weekend, but when this show comes out, it will have been the weekend before. So I am literally time traveling.
Holy shit.
I'm literally going back to the future.
Fucking hell. I'm just going to end it there. I mean, listen, if you have some magic balls.
So you will hear about OMD next week, but it'll be 2 weeks after the show. But it'll be next week.
I mean, my mind is blown.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Fuck. Thanks, Dori. Bye.
Bye.